Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 120 WPM of Shorthand Dictation. Mufta Bullet's case for more dot calls Islamabad double dot caught by surprise over some missing detail on critical external receipt. Finance Minister Mufta Ismail has said finance consolidation is the government's priority to avoid a Sri Lanka-like crisis where as growth and inflation target come later. Speaking at a post-budget news briefing on Saturday, the minister kept building a case for more challenging decisions and hinted at reducing or withdrawing relief on personal income tax provided in the next year's budget because the International Monetary Fund (IMF) over was not ready to give up the demand for higher venue yield next para. The minister did not respond directly to repeated questions over justification for fresh FT executive allowances to government officer on top of 15% salary increase and perplexed judicial and military officers para. He was equally evasive about a possible rise in poverty levels because of measures introduced in the budget 2022-23 para. The minister started the event by repeating his short time narrative and associated risks and thus difficult decision to help the country avoid default. Pakistan is standing on a very difficult moment which is so precarious I have not seen in 30 years since I came back from abroad after education, he said, adding that the situation was such that on the one hand, the international environment was not conducive, but on the other, those running it only aggravated the situation instead of resolving it. He said a power sector subsidy of the more than 1.1 trillion provided electricity to consumer at rupees 11% unit, resulting in a reverse circle of inflation, higher interest rates and heavy losses because of maladministration para. Unless we correct this, the country will not be able to afford it. On top of that, rupees 400 billion subsidy was being provided on gas while its circular debt stood at rupees 1.6 billion as SNGPL alone had lost rupees 200 billion this year in the diverting expensive imported LNG to those who are not ready or unable to pay. This is also Pakistani money, B said. Therefore, he said the government was required to take bold decision. We will not hesitate to make difficult decisions of what use is politics, which is at the cost of the country. We can't allow our country to drift toward a Sri Lanka-like situation. If we do, the nation will not forgive us. There is no other choice and we have to go for attack this time, he said, while insisting that fiscal consolidation was a top priority. Growth and inflation are our target. But our first priority is fiscal consolidation, he said. Fiscal and monetary politics would be taught to reduce fiscal and deficits, he said on another occasion. The minister said the government had taxed the rich and tired to reduce personal income tax on middle income groups by enhancing the exemption limit to rupees 1.2 billion a year. But the IMF was not happy. He said these measures were meant to bring more people into the tax net, but there could be changes over the next few days as budgetary measures come under discussion in Parliament para. There will be some pain, he said, apparently hinting at income tax changing in line with the previous government written commitment with the IMF. Responding to a question, the minister said there was nothing new to report on IMF talk. He was taken aback when asked if the reason behind the absence of proceeding from the fund and China in budget books meant the government did not expect the breakthrough with the multilateral lending and Beijing. Special Forex despite question, Mr. Ismail and accompanying members, Federal Minister for Information, Minister of State for Finance and Finance Secretary did not respond if it was justified to give special perks and allowances to senior member of civil, judicial and military bureaucracy when fiscal tightening was being applied to all other sections of society. Full stop.